siren being sounded by the PHQ and also by fire and emergency services, we started this exercise. That siren actually conveyed that a earthquake has struck us. So as has been laid down in our SOP, all the main officers concerned with the disaster management, led by Chief Secretary, we rushed to this State Emergency Operations Center, which is functional in this building here. And within 10-15 minutes, everyone was here. And then whatever steps that should be taken when such a disaster strikes, that we started rolling out. So the first was getting reports from all the districts, and we put in a situation where our mobile network and landline, everything was down. So through police wireless system and using our satellite phones, we started getting reports from the districts, which took about 30-40 minutes. We could get everything. And as we kept getting those reports, we also parallelly we have another arrangement that we started arranging in the Secretariat Plaza, that is called a staging area, where we bring all the materials, all the equipments that would be required when an earthquake strikes and buildings fall and debris have to be cleared, people have to be evacuated. So that also parallelly started happening. So whatever reports we get, we conveyed it to NDMA, and all it's not that all in a mock manner. I mean, we reports of such and such casualties, such and such injuries. So that we got from the districts, and then we passed on to NDMA, and whatever resources we had here also, all the districts, they were also doing it parallelly, and at their level they passed on to the whatever resources, local resources we had to fight this disaster. So as you all are aware, we have this SDRF in all our districts. So they were activated, and whatever they couldn't do, those requirements they projected here. And the staging area where we had this men and equipment, so they were passed on for each district what was the requirement, so that they could at their level keep sending these things to the districts and keep passing on the information to us, so that we could tell the district that this is being moved, and they could accordingly prepare for receiving them and guiding to the right places for carrying out the disaster management work. Then at one level it was found that given the damage report, our local resources are not enough. So then we got in touch with NDRF, and from there we asked for the columns for the teams to be sent to respective districts, and this we try to coordinate with the Air Force, so that we could get their choppers to transport to them those places where they're required. And the medical also, because in this disaster, since a lot of buildings collapse and landslides happen, so there are expected a lot of injuries, which as per the district report it was there. So that also side by side, what all medical needs are required, that also we activated through our health department. So overall, if you see, it was a combined exercise in the sense that all the departments were taking part, and based on the inputs that we were getting, we were trying to modulate our response, and wherever needed, try to get more help from the places where it is available, so that we can manage to reach out to all the people who require, and also the districts where some districts reported more damages than others, so more attention were given to them. So as you could see, all the districts are also connected to us. So there also, after this, we'll get feedback in what manner they carried out. And each of the places where these things were getting carried out, we also had an observer who used to examine and analyze our response and give their comments as to what all places we should have been done in maybe in a better way or in a different manner, so that it would have been more effective. So throughout this exercise, besides seeing how capable we are to respond to that type of emergency, we also try to come up with some learning experiences also, so that we can incorporate in our plans. We already have a plan which we have been trying to improve upon over the years, but nothing like going through a full-scale mock exercise and testing ourselves. So a lot of learning experiences also are there for us today, especially that our communication channel network, that we found that it has to be more robust, and the information from the districts and other places have to come to us in a quicker manner than what it was. We felt that there we can improve, and our coordination with the Army, Air Force, that also is another where we could work upon. We already have a system, but today the mock exercise made us realize that maybe we could have more nodal officers to do all that. Then there are some other nodal officers also. We felt that we could do some fine tuning and put some more people or change some people, so that the officers, the department, so that our response is better. So overall, the exercise we could carry out, I would say, successfully, this mock exercise. But there is always a great scope for doing it better, and a lot of new things we have learned. So we'll try to improve it. And this exercise we couldn't do for the last 2 years. We could do it only after a gap of 2 years. In fact, 3 years now. So the last time we did it was in 2019, the last part of the year. So it's almost 3 years now. So NSDMA will later on, also future, also we plan to do some exercises, and definitely whatever we have done today will help us to make things better. And if at all any disaster strikes, I think whatever we are doing now and the learning, that will help us to cope with the disaster and help us to respond in a much better manner.
And the earthquake which we depicted today, it was 8.7 on the Richter scale. And during past record, you can imagine if in real situation we feel a tremor of 8.7, that will be very devastating and lots of casualties will be there. So in order to prevent all these things, how we are prepared to check our preparedness level, we used to conduct mock exercise everywhere in this country. So today we conducted simultaneously at 3 places. It was the earthquake epicenter was painted as in Assam, but the tremors were felt in Nagaland as well as in Arunachal Pradesh. So these 3 states have gone through the exercise today, and we, during this exercise, we checked all the activities, all our preparedness related activities, and we found that yes, we are prepared, but needs to be improvements are required to be taken place, particularly what sir has already told, particularly in terms of communication network. We have to strengthen our communication network, because without the communication network, we will not get the information right in the time, and until unless we got the information, we will not be able to respond to the situation. So this is one thing. Second thing, we have to strengthen our medical system, because the scenario which we have painted, it will have lot many casualties. So management of dead body, management of injured people, establishing field hospitals, these are needs to be required. So it was a very, very good learning experience. I observed that they are prepared, but still improvement is always there. So nobody is perfect. Improvement is always there. So yes, we have learned, we have identified the gap, and the best part is we are not finding the fault. We are identifying the gaps. That is the best part. If we identify our own gaps, that is very good. We can always plug in those gaps. So today we have identified certain gaps like communication, medical facility.
Context of earthquake, the first thing that each and every one of us should follow is, we call it, is a very old, safety message that we have been passing on. That is called duck, hold, and cover. The idea is that, ceiling must be falling, some debris must be falling. Your head has to be first covered so that you can survive. So in the under the hard top structures, you have to duck, hold, and cover yourself. And if you are inside, the safest side is below the beam, because that will be the last one to fall instead of the ceiling. So we should also identify where to find it. Only after that, after the first tremor, then we need to move out to the safer place. We should not be panicked and run around during the event of the tremor.